Hello, this is Will from JourneyToWallStreet.blogspot.com. I'm here for the trade reviews of April 16th, 2012. So first off, I want to update on some swing trades. Um, Ren today it kind of exploded really nicely, all the way up to 780s. But as you can see, it came back down very sharply. Kind of gapped higher and then kind of consolidated and dropped down. After hours is dropped a little bit, but um, I'm gonna move my stop up, but we'll just see how this looks. VVUS still sort of dead money-ish because it's not doing anything. If you look on the weekly, it's just inside week after inside week after inside week. Same thing on the monthly, inside month, and it's gonna probably be like this for a while until something comes out with the FDA. Sina, if you notice, there was an inside day here yesterday, and today it broke below, so I am officially out of this trade. But the reason why I wanted to lead off with my swing trade is because I had a day trade on Sina today, or attempted to. So, because I was actively watching this stock, because I had a long position on it, I knew that below 63.08 was a reason to get out of the long and think short. So, looking on an intraday, as soon as it broke down here, I shorted. I didn't really think much about it. I just shorted it, and I didn't want to put on too much risk, so I had to cover for a small loss, or I would say a close to max risk loss. But if you look at the 15-minute chart, what do you see here? You see an inside bar. So instead of just shorting because it's below the daily, I should have waited, be patient, and short it below this inside bar. And that would have been about what 33-cent risk for a potential gain of, who knows, maybe up to here, 1 to 155, 150. So we're talking about a dollar 30 cent risk for $1.30. So that's pretty good risk versus reward. But because I didn't really have a plan, I just shorted because it's below the daily. This is what happens. But next time I see a daily chart like this, then I'm stalking. I'm definitely going to wait for a play to develop before I jump in. Next trade I was in BAX. Had earnings today, dropped down. As you can see here, there's a 15-minute inside bar, and if you see here, there's a 13-minute inside bar. So basically, I was just wanting to be short below these levels, below this blue line here, and below this blue line here, and above this blue line was my stop. So I traded down immediately after it broke below the secondary level, and I covered some quickly just to cover. Good thing I did, because on the next push it basically stopped me out, and I kind of gave up on this trade. But if you think about it, my real stop was a little higher than that. You can't really tell here, but it really should have been in this wick area, just to be sure that you don't get wicked out, like how I got wicked out here. But it is what it is. It would have been a nice trade rest of the way, but it's okay. You win some, you lose some. My best trade today was in Ilmn. Pretty easy trade, very weak today. As you can see, 15-minute inside bar, easy short. I covered some here. and I covered the rest up here. So I kind of had a mental error on this. I was expecting a pullback very much like this, maybe a little smaller or whatever, but I was expecting a pullback. So instead of doing this once I was in the short and seeing a very nice clean downtrend, and then getting flat here on the break of this downtrend, and waiting for this to happen and then reshorting, I I held on to my 1/3 of my position and just kind of just let it trade against me, like what, this many points, almost 70 cents before I got out. That really didn't make much sense. I should have gotten out down here closer to the hole when this downtrend broke, and then just wait, be patient. You know, maybe I short here, but I eventually get stopped out. So what? I mean, all I needed to do was kind of waited a little more, and maybe I saw another pattern develop, and the rest of the way would have been a nice short up until this point. But you know, it's just a mental lapse that I didn't catch this and react in time. But it's okay, it's going to happen. Next trade was in STX. This was during my afternoon session. I noticed that the 50 cent was selling quite a bit here, and I was just waiting. If once 50 lifts, I was gonna go long, and it did that here. And I sold half of my position at 65. You see how it was at this little pre-market high here? You can't tell from that. Sorry, you can't tell from there, but right here, pre-market high 65. So, you know, as soon as it hit 65, I sold some, and then I moved my stop up for the rest, and I got stopped out somewhere down here. Eventually, it would have went on to make it did retest that 65, but there was not much follow through after that, so the trade was essentially dead at that point. My last trade was in CIE. This was more or less a tape trade. There was some buying going on in the 49.50s right here. It would buy, come back up, bring back down, buy again, and buy again. So I was in it as long as he was still buying. But as you can see, right here he dropped, and I hit out for a small loss. It really felt like the more trades I put on this afternoon, or just today in general, the more money I was losing. So I kept my volume relatively light today. I believe I only traded 6,000 shares, which, considering I was actually awake for the open, that is very light. So there you have it. Those are my trades, swing trades and everything. One thing I wanted to do, but I didn't get a chance to do yet, was to get all the data from the trade ideas and kind of run those against the odds maker. The strategy I'm using is pretty simple. A break below the inside day. Well, the criteria is a stock must be below the inside day or above the inside day. If it consolidates, then go long if it's above, and go short if it's below. Fairly simple strategy. I just wanted to see if doing this blindly will pay off. I'm not going to add any stop or target criteria just yet. So I'll keep an Excel spreadsheet to kind of keep track of this strategy and see how it will work going forward. Today is probably not a good day for the strategy to run against, because so many stocks just kind of made new lows and kind of got flat and traded higher the rest of the day. So a lot of inside days did that. So I'm not sure what type of relevant data I'll get today, but still good enough to start building my baseline at least. Well, there you have it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.